to carve one word. After 3 years of storms, war, and delays, Governor John White finally returns to Roanoke Island. He left behind 115 people here, neighbors, friends, his own daughter, and his newborn granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the New World. He expects shouting from the shore, children laughing, smoke from cooking fires. Instead, there's nothing. Beat. The fort still stands. The palisade walls are up, but the houses? Gone. Not burned. Not smashed. Carefully taken down, as if someone dismantled their lives and walked away. No bodies. No blood. No obvious sign of a fight. Just an empty settlement, being slowly reclaimed by the forest. Then White finds it, carved deep into a wooden post. One word, Croatoan. No cross, no second message, just that one word. It's the only clue history has ever found to explain how an entire colony of men, women, and children simply disappeared. So what happened on Roanoke Island? The dream of a city. To understand the mystery, you have to understand the dream. In 1587, under a charter from Sir Walter Raleigh, John White leads more than 100 settlers across the Atlantic. Not just soldiers or fortune hunters. Families, carpenters, farmers, women and children. They don't plan to raid and run. They plan to build a permanent English city in North America. On August 18, 1587, White's daughter Eleanor gives birth to a baby girl, Virginia Dare. For the English, this is a symbol. This isn't just a beachhead. It's supposed to be home. But the land has its own ideas. The colonists arrived too late in the year to plant proper crops. And Roanoke is already scarred by earlier English expeditions. Missions that ended in violence with local tribes. Food is scarce. Trust is almost non-existent. If nothing changes, the colony will starve or be wiped out. So the settlers decide on something unthinkable. They ask their governor, Virginia Dare's grandfather, to leave. The code and the delay. Before John White sails back to England for supplies, he and the colonists agree on a simple code. If they're forced to move, they'll carve the name of their new location where he can see it. If they're in danger, if they flee under attack, they'll add a cross above the name. Roanoke has one crucial ally, the Croatoan people, living on an island to the south, today's Hatteras Island. So one word becomes central to their plan, Croatoan. White promises he'll be back in a few months. On August 27th, 1587, he sails away. His granddaughter is 9 days old. He believes he's coming back with help. Instead, he sails straight into history's worst timing. The Spanish Armada is preparing to invade England. Queen Elizabeth seizes ships, locks down ports, and orders the Navy to focus on survival, not rescue missions. Every time White tries to return, he's blocked, diverted, or delayed. Months turn into 3 long years. Back on Roanoke, the colonists are running out of options. Their governor is gone. Supplies are dwindling. Relations with nearby tribes are tense and unpredictable. Staying put might mean death. So at some point between 1587 and 1590, the colonists made their move. The Ghost Fort. When John White finally reaches Roanoke in 1590, he arrives on the evening of August 18th, his granddaughter's 3rd birthday. Instead of celebration, he finds a ghost fort. The palisade walls still stand, but inside, the houses have been removed. Not burned in a raid, just taken down. This doesn't look like a massacre. It looks like an evacuation. Then the search party spots something on a tree. 3 letters. C-R-O. On a nearby post, the full word. Croatoan. White is relieved. This is the signal they agreed on. His people must have relocated to Croatoan Island, probably to live with their allies. And crucially, there's no cross above the word. Whatever happened here, it wasn't a panic escape under attack. White begs the captain to sail south so he can find his family, but the Atlantic doesn't cooperate. A violent storm batters the ship, snaps ropes, and nearly wrecks him on the shoals. The crew refuses to risk another attempt. They turn away from the coast. John White never sees Roanoke or his family again. Theories and evidence. For centuries, that's where the official story ends. An empty fort, a carved word, a lost colony. In the vacuum, theories exploded. Some claim the Spanish marched north from Florida and wiped out the English. But there's no physical evidence of a Spanish attack. No burned fortress. No mass graves. Others blamed hostile native tribes. A massacre that left no survivors. Again, the archaeological record doesn't show a destroyed settlement. And then there are the fringe ideas. Strange diseases, supernatural curses, even alien abductions. But in the last few decades, archaeologists have been quietly building a more grounded explanation. On Hatteras Island, the homeland of Croatoan people, digs have uncovered European-made items from the late 1500s. Metal tools, a copper ring, and fragments of armor. These don't match the later English colonies like Jamestown. They're mixed into native village sites, alongside indigenous pottery, food remains, and homes. It doesn't look like a temporary camp of outsiders. It looks like two cultures living together. Farther inland, near the Albemarle Sound, another site has turned up European artifacts from the same time period. That hints that the Roanoke colonists may have split, some going south to Croatoan Island, others heading west and joining mainland tribes. Put all together, and one picture starts to emerge. The colonists didn't vanish. They adapted. They abandoned a failing English outpost and melted into the native world around them, marrying, trading, and slowly becoming part of the communities that have been here for thousands of years. To the English back home, with no letters, no maps, and no witnesses, it looked like a disappearance. To the people actually living there, it may have just been survival. Local legends from the Outer Banks later told of gray-eyed children among the tribes, whispers of English ancestry. Maybe those stories are true, maybe they're not. But the carved word, the neat dismantling of the houses, the total lack of bodies, and the artifacts buried in native villages all point the same way. The Lost Colony of Roanoke might not be a ghost story at all. It might be a story of ordinary people who did whatever it took to live. One word, carved into wood. Not a riddle from beyond the grave, but a message from people who refused to die quietly. B, what do you think really happened on Roanoke Island? Massacre? Migration? Or something we still haven't uncovered? Tell me your theory in the comments. And if you like digging into history's strangest disappearances, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in our next story, The 5 Children Who Vanished on Christmas Eve 1945.